Unemployment is an old man, so that's the whole tricky though.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm with Jerry. That smack while they eat.
Definitely psycho.
Like it's something that
So I started like when I was 15. I started hustling, trying to make some money. But I started
saying that y'all know about these benches, but she didn't say benches.
No, she said it.
What's good, fellas? What's good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Apartment 48. Fellas, what's going on, man? How y'all week been?
Been hectic, man. Christmas prep, Christmas programs. Just came from a little Christmas banquet at church.
Oh, yeah.
It's that time of year.
'Tis the season.
Oh,
How about you, Terrence? I'm gonna go down there and run some fire with the Terrence house.
Hey, we're gonna send him a little Obama phone or something. Something with some network.
Buy you a hotspot for Christmas, Terrence.
There you go. Yeah, man, he gotta leave my phones alone, man. That's what it is.
That's all it is. The iPhone is acting up.
Yeah.
Stick your tongue out holding the L like this.
Oh, yeah. You gotta do that network dance.
Yeah. Wrap it with some aluminum foil.
Yeah, man. So what we decide on talking about tonight?
So there's a couple things we're gonna hit. Me and Terrence were talking about a little bit before the pre-show. That's why I was surprised because it was working good before we went live, and then it's kind of real good. But we're gonna start with this one first. Everybody saw this happen. Everybody was surprised that this happened, and it was a little confusing. So if you didn't see it last week, you had to be asleep. Because there's a certain fellow that's in prison for the next 30 years, just got another 10 years added on, even though he did actually beat some charges as of, I think, Monday or Tuesday or something like that. He ain't get no reduce. He just don't have, 100 years now. But Mr. R. Kelly himself had an album release called I Admit. I think it's like 13 songs, maybe. Was it 8 or 13? So I can't remember how many it was. But it was up and down about as quick as it could be. But I mean, they say it ain't up. You can still find bits and pieces of it around. Yeah. So what do y'all think? R. Kelly album, I Admit. Anybody get a chance to listen to any of it? Or
I did not. I missed out on it.
Yeah. So R. Kelly put out a statement that said he didn't have nothing to do with it. He said that his masters got stolen, I guess, since he's been in prison. And people are releasing stuff trying to make money off his name, image, and likeness. And he actually has a lawsuit out, over some of his masters and stuff. So, the question is, out of all the things that he done did, especially here lately, did they steal his masters or that's kind of a repayment?
That's a good question. I mean, I know that he was never like a super savvy business guy or nothing like that. So I assume that there was somebody that was kind of eating off of him or several people. But him being locked away and them trying to drop a whole album, that's a bit much.
Well, he won't be most definitely not the last artist, and he sure wasn't the first artist to drop an album in jail. I mean, several people have dropped these so-called jail albums. I mean, even had a few people record a couple songs in jail.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I wasn't surprised it came. I was surprised that it happened. You know, obviously that happens. But as far as him like having nothing to do with it, that was probably the most surprising thing for me.
Terrence, are you there?
Not really.
Oh no.
at least we can hear you.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I can barely hear y'all.
Oh no.
Yeah, you on that struggle bus.
We're gonna send you a Samsung for Christmas.
There you go.
This is Xperia. This is AT&T. This is everybody acting a fool. Everybody but Apple. Apple's good.
Oh, okay. Oh. I see Terrence still getting his checks.
so Terrence, what you think, man? R. Kelly, I admit,
treat me well.
What you think about the album?
You know, I haven't got a chance to listen to it yet. I was in class and one of my students asked me about it, and she turned it on. Said, "Oh, my bad. That's the unedited version." So I haven't I haven't listened to it yet.
Do you think he said he had nothing to do with it being released? Do you think that's true? You think he's trying to get some sympathy from the public?
I think he's trying to get some sympathy from the public. I think he probably had something to do with it. And he'll see how they was gonna receive it. And if they didn't receive it well, he came in with the hey, nah, that's not me. That wasn't they trying to get me.
Yeah, he said somebody stole his masters. And you know, R. Kelly had a little issue where, you know, he said he can't really read. And so, you know, ain't no telling what R. Kelly done signed away before he went to jail.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's not surprising that somebody was in a position to benefit from him going away.
But it is him.
Yeah, it's his music. He says his. Yeah, he said he
didn't release it.
Yeah, he just saying that he didn't authorize the release of the album.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lied. That's why people gonna buy it. Gonna try to listen to it even more now.
Oh yeah,
that fella smart. Like, yeah, he probably can't read, but he know business and music.
See, I don't know, man. I'm inclined to believe that he didn't.
Now I gotta go look it up now.
So you got to find it now, huh?
I mean, it's interesting. Exactly. You know, whoever released it might have been smart enough to release just a snippet of it and say, "Hey, we're gonna put it out there, see how people feel, and then if we get good talks or make some good noise, we're gonna sell it, see how much money we can make."
That better gonna be dropping CDs every quarter.
I mean, you know, trapped in the jail cell and come out and
he gonna have a CD called Collect Call. He gonna sing over the phone.
It was somebody, I forget what guy it was that one of the guys that used to share a cell with R. Kelly, talking about some R. Kelly will be singing songs, talking about listen to this, tell him what you think, or he'd be trying to get him to sing to R. Kelly. R. Kelly's still out there trying to make music. He running the talent shows out there, man.
All them folks gonna have jobs when he get out.
Oh yeah. He got you know, it's somebody in there like R. Kelly, man. I've been writing these songs for 40 years, man. Just listen to them. Man, I make beats, man. You know, you're trying to get everything.
They're gonna have a whole production team. He gonna.
It's a real convict music.
So he the new snowman, huh?
Yeah.
That fella gonna develop that those talents. They gonna come out with a full group.
That would be, you know, that would make some good reality TV. Making the band behind bars.
Yep.
I mean,
hey, let's go ahead and patent this. Making the band in the can. Let's go ahead and get it.
I'm saying, man, I'm sure somebody will watch it. I mean, you know,
dropping bars,
surprise guest, Dylon.
Oh, yeah.
Dropping bars behind bars.
There we go. Hey, we got a couple of title.
That's 3 episodes right there.
I'm telling you, too easy.
See that? Now, if I look up one day and on A&E, How do I say?
yeah.
I see this on A&E. I'm gonna have to pull up the episode and say, see what happened.
Oh yeah, go ahead, bookmark it, man.
That'd be easy money. Well, speaking from one person that's in jail to another one who
Hey,
just
did y'all talk
recently
about
got
the
out
fantasy
of
football
jail, we
league yet?
got, huh?
You said that we talk about the fantasy football yet?
I said, did y'all talk about the fantasy football league yet?
Nah. We ain't jumped in them yet.
Yeah.
Hey, I'd be fine if we didn't even talk about it. Just,
Hey man, my
being
team
honest.
ain't doing too bad. I think if I win this
I
game,
got
I'm gonna
'em.
actually make the playoff.
I'm doing bad. I ain't gonna lie.
I got my first win in 11 weeks.
There you go. Yeah,
Who you
Terrence on
beat,
the high.
Terrence?
I beat J. Key.
No. Hey, he actually been doing well. J. Key actually in the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken.
Look, and he ain't even logged into the app. You know it.
Yeah, you don't know, he don't remember his login.
Look, the week I lost to him, I'm like, man, come on.
JP got on me Saturday morning. JP said, hey, change your team. Drop this player, add this player, right? I'm assuming Jonathan need to lose so he can get a better position. But I whooped Jonathan just for JP.
Oh, let me see who made the playoffs on their bracket.
And Eric is next.
Oh, so, it's time for me to make my comeback.
Well, the playoffs done started now, I believe. We got this guy, Chase, one of the guys I used to work with. He's in first place. He got the first round bye. My line brother Thurman got the number 2 spot, the second or the first round bye. I gotta play Willie in the first round, and because you beat J. Key, Terrence, JP is in, and he get to play this guy named JoJo. So yeah, you help JP out. You got him in.
Okay, so
that's why he was pushing me to change up my roster and drop players and add players.
Oh yeah. So I ain't doing as bad as Terrence.
Yeah.
But as far as right now it's the playoffs. So if you playing you in the playoffs, that's what you saying.
So everybody is in some type of playoff. So the playoffs that I just named is the top 6. Y'all are in the constellation ladder, and so you basically trying to make sure you don't get last.
Oh, okay.
And so you got Eric versus Terrence. Then you got Travail versus Jonathan, and Kevin versus Quinn. And so y'all are all fighting for 7th place. That's interesting in itself.
Hey.
But now that we're here on football, we'll come back to old Brittany in a second. But since we're here on football, we got Mississippi State head coach just passed yesterday, Mike Leach.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing, man. He was just 61. The air raid offense that he kind of helped get together in the college side had Tennessee coaches doing it, due to Arizona, Cliff Kilsby, whatever his name is. He's running it. He just had some heart complications, and they drove him down here to Jackson. He didn't make it. Drove him down on Monday afternoon. He passed that night or early that morning. And it's interesting, man, because not too long ago they were worried about whether they were gonna keep him now because he hadn't been winning the Egg Bowls and stuff like that. And he won. And so now the football team has just decided they're gonna play the bowl game against Illinois in his honor. But Mississippi State, man, feel sorry for them, man. It's different when your coach passed versus he leave.
Yeah.
And they actually just lost their AD about 3 weeks ago. So now they don't have a head football coach or AD. The AD just went to be the AD at Auburn.
Oh, so he just left.
Yeah. He just left. And so, they got to find a new AD. Whether they got an interim right now. I don't know if they're going to make him the AD. And they got to find a new head football coach. right when the portal opens, right when recruiting is about to go at an
Right.
all-time high. They looking for AD and the coach. It's rough to be a Mississippi State Bulldog, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's it's a lot of variables, man.
Yeah. So but our condolences go out to the Leach family and the Mississippi State Bulldog fans, man. We don't wish that on nobody, man. Sorry
Yeah, not at
to
all.
hear that. And other news in Mississippi staying there, we got TC, the new head football coach of Jackson State Tigers.
Yep.
What y'all got any comments
TC,
on?
is it TC Taylor?
TC Taylor, that's who it is.
Mhm.
Y'all got any comments on
My
Mr.
cuz.
TC? That's your cousin for real?
No, I'm joking.
No.
I know y'all last name Taylor, but it's really your cousin.
I'm pretty sure I can trace him back somewhere.
Say depending on how good he do, huh, Terrence?
I'll be.
Let's see halfway through next season if I'm gonna claim him or not.
I know that. Right?
Yeah.
My thing with TC, I'm not saying he's not gonna be a good coach. He might as well be. I just felt like there wasn't no real search for a coach. I feel like they just picked whoever was left. Because if I'm not mistaken, the offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator left and went with Dion. And so, TC was kind of like the one that was left. He is a former Jackson State football player. He is, he was on the coaching staff. He coached wide receiver. I think he even was offensive coordinator at one point. But
apparently he was who Dion kind of picked, basically, like suggested.
He recommended him.
Yeah.
I just feel like they should have reached out to somebody who was, maybe a former head coach in the NFL. They got one guy that I like was Brian Flores, that was the head coach of Miami Dolphins with that whole tanking thing. He didn't want to do it. They basically fired him because he wouldn't tank.
Mm-hmm.
Right now he's a linebacker coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm sure he won't. Huh?
Would he be interested in that?
I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, I just felt like it'd been a good person to at least reach out to. I'm sure him not being the head coach now, the lawsuit in the NFL, been a kind of a good look to kind of get back into the swing of being the head coach, because, I doubt anybody take that risk right now of him being the head coach in the NFL, especially technically he's suing the league. The league is the owners. So
he biting the hand that feed him. So makes sense.
So it's just one of those. I mean, I just feel like
he was trying to say, Rod. They looked in the locker room and said, "Oh,
yeah." That's how I feel like they did.
What you trying to say, Rod? They looked in the locker room and said, "Who's left? Hey, you got it."
Basically.
Sound about right.
And so, I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna say he's not gonna do well. I'm not saying that. I just feel like there should have been some type of search. I mean, it ain't been but 2 weeks. But it is what it is. He homegrown.
Eric, are y'all going? Eric, y'all gonna support the Tigers like y'all did the past couple of years?
Well, I mean, we've been going to Jackson State games before Dion. So this is the thing, right? So you got a lot of people that got on the Jackson State bandwagon because of Dion. And then, of course, you got, everybody want to be associated with winners, right? So especially when they started winning, everybody kind of jumped on. But, Dion did what he do. And now that he gone, it's some questions as far as like what the future look like. But, Jackson State still Jackson State. As far as the SWAC goes, HBCUs, they still one of the most, prestigious and well-known schools. So, I mean, that's still gonna be what it is. We gonna go.
And they just got them 4-star recruits.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think the biggest question mark is, what does the post Dion kind of recruiting and play look like? because everybody knew that Deion wasn't gonna stay there forever, right? Him leaving before his contract was up and before his kids finished school was kind of surprising, but everybody knew that he wasn't going. That wasn't like his last stop. So at some point there would have had to be some sort of plan for after him, and we talked about it before. A lot of the stuff that he did, it was because he was Deion. Like, can't nobody else do that. So I think now you kind of got to get somebody else in there who, kind of has their own plan and path forward. So I don't know. Just interested to see what that's going to look like.
At least the team, they like TC and they are, really, really excited about him coming. So it's one of those things. It's not like, they just hired this random guy. I mean, he most definitely not random. He's an all-time Jackson State great. He's been on the coaching staff for the last 3 years. So he's not a random guy. He understands the culture that is there now. Because he was there with the building the culture that's currently there. So, he can continue some of that. He may not have all the resources at the fingertips of Deion, but he can continue some of the stuff that was there.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
Just, will he get the biggest thing now is the talent, because he compared before he had all the talent, and now he got to kind of figure that out. So, we shall see.
I think that was a wise move. I mean, obviously you want to make sure you consider the best candidates, but I think for the position that they're in, they kind of have some other factors to consider, like the publicity and, how public Deion's departure is, and just kind of somebody who could come in and, last thing you want is somebody to come in behind that, what Deion did and just like crumble, versus somebody who's been a part of Deion's system and, that game plan and got to report to players already. They can at least kind of take some of that momentum into the next season.
Yeah. It shall be interesting. I'm sure everybody's going to kind of watch them and be ready to see that. Moving on just a little bit, unless anybody else got something they want to say about TC.
And Deion recommended him too, right?
Yeah.
They did. Yep. We're going to go down there and root for Terrence Cousins. We'll be down there. And since it's Terrence Cousins, we can get on the field now, right, Terrence? We said we part of the family.
I got you. Just let's talk halfway through.
Yeah.
What's up there? Cuz.
I knew you could make it, man. I always had faith in you.
Win these games now. I don't want to have to denounce you.
Hey, what you mean you don't remember me? Man, you don't remember, man? Come on, man. Stop playing.
Son.
Yeah.
I'm your son.
Yeah, I'm your cousin, your granddaddy cousin on your mama's side.
Exactly.
So last week also around the sports world, we had
like a brand new cuz.
We had Brittany Griner get released. She got released. They traded her for someone who was in prison here. No, they weren't actually in America, were they? They were actually in Australia, wasn't it? I can't remember where that guy was in prison at. But she got released. And there's been a little bit of pushback because the person that she was released for is Victor Bout. He was also known as the Merchant of Death. I'm glad she got released, but seemed a little steep.
Yeah, that dude resume was something else.
They made Warlord after him out that Nicolas Cage movie, didn't it?
That what it sound like.
Lord of War.
Yeah.
I mean, they was trying to basically get him credit for outfitting an entire country with weapons for war.
Right.
Yeah, that's steep. I'm kind of kind of torn though, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
it's the same country that used to say that black people was less than animals, and now they're making this level of trade to bring home a black person, and not just a black person, like a black LGBTQ plus woman. Um, I think that's interesting in itself.
So my question
I think it's
is,
all political.
it is political.
Oh
It
yeah,
is political, and people were a lot of people upset because they were like, you got the basketball player free, but you couldn't free the former Marine that's over there. It's been over there for a couple of years now. You
yeah.
know, and I'm sure they probably want a little more than
The Merchant of Death.
yeah, for the
Yeah,
Marine. It's a basketball player. We got one of your soldiers here. We want the real deal over here. But
yeah.
my question is, she went there, she got in trouble, and I do agree that it was way too harsh for what she had. And I think they were trying to be political and make an example out of. I totally agree. But
Hmm.
now that she's back, is
Yeah.
she just free and clear? She don't, you
No,
know,
no.
you get what I'm saying? Like what happens?
Nah, she can't just suit up and start shooting free throws again. She got to go on a tour. I guarantee that deal came with a whole lot of strings attached. Like they ain't just bring her home and like, okay, go back to your regular life. I mean, even if she wanted to, she couldn't. To be honest, like,
So you don't think she ever playing basketball again?
I
I mean,
mean,
I think
she,
she's free in the sense of she has no kind of legal anything legally over her head. But I don't think she's free in the sense where she's gonna be in the public light and she's gonna be pushing how much she loved the U.S. and how much she loved Biden for doing what he was doing for a while.
oh yeah, yeah. Till the
And I
next major story break, she gonna have to, you know, yeah, she gonna be on a Thanksgiving tour
yeah,
wherever she go.
and I can imagine
She's
she's gonna need some
gonna be
counseling and
hanging out.
stuff.
Oh yeah,
But I mean, I'm just wondering, when you get into those situations right there where, you have a country trade somebody like the merchant of death for your life, a life for a life, you
yeah.
know, especially when you admit to doing something wrong in their country. Again, I'm not saying that the punishment was fair or just or anything. I most definitely agree that they were just making an example, being political for her. But when you come back, I mean, they gave up a big one for your life. I mean, they might make her join the military. I mean, I know she's too old for that, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, mm, oh, it's a hard call. That's why it's people that get paid to make these decisions. I think um, there definitely was some political motivation for why they, picked her up and threw the books at her. Because she had a vape pen and they was trying to charge her for trafficking. So it's
yeah.
like,
What it was a vape pen with um what you call it in there was it the THC level
Or
was
not hemp oil, but heroin.
mhm.
No, I think it was
THC.
a heroin oil.
No, it wasn't heroin. It was marijuana, like THC oil. Like it was
and
it was something that's legal in certain states over here, like
right.
California, like, and over there they was trying to throw 10 years at her for having it, and they were saying the amount that she had. They were trying to call it out. It was like point 6 milligrams or something six. It was some number where anybody trying to accuse you of drug trafficking and smuggling, it's like, if I drop this on the floor, you will have no evidence. Like it was a crazy low amount, and it was obvious that they were trying to leverage that because she was,
Mhm.
somewhat of a public figure. Um, they were trying to see what they can get for her, and they got the Merchant of Death. So, mm.
Well, I'm happy for her, man. I wish her the best. I'm glad she was able to
And I
get
think
back.
I,
Go ahead, Tank. I think it's a little lab, but you can go ahead.
yeah, I think I also think that Russia had I think Russia had an agenda with it as well, as in to separate the U.S. as in saying the whole idea we'll release her, but we're not gonna release him, so we can pin one group against the other group.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The what they want for the Marine, I think the guy that they want for him, he's actually in jail in Australia. Like we can't get somebody released in another country for. I
Yeah,
mean, they asking for some extreme stuff to
yeah,
release a Marine. It's like, man, what they supposed to do? They govern them.
yeah. Basically, for the Marine, it was like we was gonna have to not only trade some Russian guy, but we have to trade somebody to Australia to get
Yeah,
whoever that Russia wanted out, and then trade somebody to Russia.
yeah. It was.
It was a lot, and it's crazy because literally you're deciding like how much is somebody's life worth, right? How much
Right.
trouble, how much like literally it's you know Merchant of Death's life is a lot of people feel like what he did and is capable of doing, like him staying locked away is worth Brittany being locked away unjustly. Like
Yeah,
it's
a
not.
lot of people. You're
Yeah,
right. A lot of people believe it.
yeah, it's kind of crazy. And he wasn't like Brittany. Brittany had, I think they said she had like 10 years.
Hmm.
A lot of people feel like, well, she could have did them 10 and came home.
He
And the
still
merchant
be
of
in jail.
yeah, merchant of death, he wasn't never getting out.
Yeah,
So like the amount of years and level of punishment that you negated by trying to get her out, like it don't add up or don't balance out unless you just look at it as a life for a life. Um,
yeah,
so it's kind of, I don't envy the people that was got to live with those decisions, man.
yeah. I
Especially
mean,
if it come out that he, you know, start doing what he was doing before again.
I know that. Yeah, you never, and then even to be that person to be traded for that. I mean, they were trading her as a civilian like she was in the WNBA. Like they were trading her like she was a player. It's like
Exactly.
real life, not just no basketball. But
Hmm.
I mean, how would you feel? I mean, no, she's gonna have some PTSD from all the stuff she had to go through them 290 days. But then
Hmm.
if he does this stuff again, it's like, man, you know, I could have not come home to prevent some of that stuff. I'm not saying that she had anything to do with it, but I
Yeah.
mean, I'm sure she gonna feel some type of way if it come out that he's out here selling this stuff again. She's like, I'm at home. These people out here potentially dying because of a mistake, wrongfully so, but it's still a mistake on her behalf. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always probably gonna stay with her. Like she'll definitely need a good therapist and some treatment. I say PTSD and just general, assistance, kind of getting through this process. Because I guarantee, people have sent, death threats for a lot less than this. So I'm sure she's probably getting bombarded
Yeah.
with, people that's angry that she's here, and
Yep.
that's gonna be
The,
rough.
the emails and the mail to her house, her mom and dad house.
Yeah.
She can't even go to the grocery store without somebody calling out her name.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like, man, yeah, that's rough though. That's rough though. As we sit here and talk about life, it's kind of a good segue to kind of jump into Stephen Boss, aka Twitch. He was the DJ and dancer at the Ellen show. I know that
Mhm.
show's not there anymore, but we all seen the show at least once. Seen him out there dancing and doing his DJ thing. He was 40 years old. Apparently, they say he took his life. He apparently checked into a hotel room about a mile or so away from his house. His wife said that he didn't take his car, so I'm assuming he walked. I'm not really sure how he got there. And she filed a report to say that he was missing. And about 11:30, the paramedics came and announced him dead on arrival. So it's rough, man. He's 40, man. And, if you see some of his Instagram or some of his Twitter stuff or whatever, he seemed happy. He seemed fine. I mean, he just not too long ago had a birthday celebrating anniversary not too long ago. I mean, was making TikTok videos. And, whatever happened, man, you never know what's going on with somebody. You have to be careful out there. I encourage anybody, if you're going through some rough time, talk to somebody, anybody, man.
Yeah.
Don't give up.
Yeah, man. It's especially now, man. I'm blessed to where I guess I'd be considered an introverted extrovert. Basically, I'm fine, kind of being to myself. And around certain people, I'll be more kind of outgoing or whatever. But there's some people that I know between like the pandemic and residuals of that, between losing people and relationships being strained. Or some people just being with being kind of stuck with themselves. It's hard for some people. So, like you said, definitely check on people, and if you got somebody to reach out to them. If you curious about somebody or like worried, like reach out to them.
Yeah, and it's especially as us, man, as African American males, we just have to do a better job of getting help for ourselves. We can't wait until we get to a point where we just can't take it no more. Like Tan said here in the comment, they say the black male suicide rate has gone up. It is skyrocketed, and I just feel like sometimes we get stuck into that mentality. I'm a man. I'm supposed to push through it. I'm supposed to be strong. Nobody see me cry, and then something like this happens, and it happened too often, man. I hate to see it, and there's nothing that you can't explain it. I'm sure. I don't know if he wrote a note or anything, but there's nothing that you can do. And exactly, Ken, that was actually my next point. Remember to check on our strong friend, because those the ones that are doing it. You think it's the people who you see that are struggling, that you see are going through things. It's the strong ones. Every time I hear a suicide story, I hear, man, I had no idea. I mean, I thought everything was good. And it'd be the strong ones that be struggling with stuff, man. So you gotta check on.
Yeah. And so I'll just share this just for knowledge sake, because I have to go through suicide prevention training. And so one thing they say is, like, if you think somebody is, contemplating it, like, you have to be direct. Like, you have to ask them, like, hey, are you thinking about killing yourself? Are you thinking about suicide? Like, don't, like, even just saying, like, hey, you okay? Like, you can talk to me. Like, you have to ask them specifically that phrase, because they say most people that are thinking about it don't want to do it. Like, they want somebody to stop them or see them or see what they're going through. So that's big. And also they say that people that are trying to do that, like, it's a moment, and you might be able to, like, stop them from getting to that point in that moment enough to get them some help. But it's real though, man.
Yeah, I mean it's rough out here, and like you said, man, you just got to be direct. You got to take that time out to say, hey, man, I see something in you, and you can't be don't be nervous about it, man. Just take a chance. Stick your hand out there. Get somebody a hug. Shake their hand. Buy them a Coke or something. Just be a friend. Do something. Don't just stand there and be like. Hey, the one thing that I always hate to hear somebody say, "Well, I knew something strange was going on." Man, that's don't just let it pass by.
Yeah.
Tan said a good comment. They suffer in silence. They do. Well, Charles said we definitely have to learn to recognize the signs and educate ourselves. And believe it or not, those who seem to have it all put together put their face as a face card. You're right. You're right. And he also said being direct is gold. So Tan's come back in. She got Taylor. He also said being direct is gold. So Tan's come back in. She got Taylor.
No, yeah, but it's tough. The whole idea of where it possibly could have been prevented if somebody would have said something, or he felt like that was his only way out.
Yeah.
I just hate to see it, man. I hate to see it. It's unexplainable, but it's most definitely preventable. And we as a community got to do better. At least we got to try hard. I think some of that is just because we're not trying hard, and we can do better. And suicide, LGBTQ, masculinity is subjects that is very taboo in our culture. And it's them type of things come up. Everybody want to shine away from it. Nobody wants to talk about it. And at this point, we have to take some time to talk about it. Yeah. I'm gonna leave it at that. I ain't letting nobody. Anybody got another comment on it? I'll let you have it.
It's I don't know. It's
one of the things as I looked into it a little bit. One thing that keeps going on in the back of my head is what I believe that happened, but I have no evidence, nothing like that. That he probably got caught up into a scandal, and he realized that his name can be tainted, and they feel like that's the only way that he can get relief from it. Not saying anything, not saying I know anything, I read anything about it, but to be that type of
I think we lost your Tans, but I mean it's possible. I mean we don't know, but is it possible? It's possible.
Yeah.
We just had no idea.
Yeah, and there's definitely a trend. Like you see people that kind of their main occupation is entertaining or making other people happy. And they're always the ones that we say, oh man, like they were always so, joyful or so happy, or, you couldn't tell. But, a lot of people project. So they might have been trying to make other people feel the way that they want, that they wish they felt. And it might just be good at doing that. But I just think about like, his wife and his family and stuff. And, those are the people that are going to be, playing back their lives, for the rest of their life. Like, what did I miss? What didn't I see? What didn't I notice? What could I have done to prevent this? That's just rough, man.
Yeah. And it's sad to say that you'll be surprised. I say it like this: you'll be surprised, and I know Charles could probably even speak on this too. But you'll be surprised how many kids, and I'm talking fourth and fifth graders, are thinking about suicide. I remember having the opportunity to go speak to a group of kids at an elementary school, fourth and fifth graders. They were talking about suicide and some other things. We left and went to lunch to find out at the school next door somebody had committed suicide. And we was at the other school.
And it's interesting that you mentioned that because my first exposure to that was actually at Seek. This was like in 08 or 09. And there was a little boy going to the 5th grade at a certain point. Like, he was telling me like he wished he was dead. And it's like, I don't know, it's you can't just assume that there's a certain group that's immune, a certain age that's immune to those feelings. Because like you say, we don't know what all goes into it, what all makes people feel like, you know, because a lot of times it's, well, I ain't gonna say a lot of times, sometimes it's not about, you know, people feel like their life is so bad and they need to escape. Sometimes they feel like everybody else would be better off if they was gone.
Yeah.
Like, it's out here, man. Like you said, I think we gotta do a better job of bringing awareness to it.
Right. And gotta start with your kids and just reach out from there, you know.
Yeah.
I can only imagine how his wife, his kids, and I don't know if his mom or dad are still living, or you know how any of them are dealing with this now. But condolences out to them as well, man. You know.
Yeah.
Well, that's a tough little subject right there, and you know it ain't much to say after that. Just if I can say anything, just remember, check on your people, man.
Yeah.
On your family, your loved ones, anybody you consider a friend. Whether it seem like they doing it well, make it seem like they have it all, you know, they suffer too. The strong friends suffer too. So check on them. You know, and be safe yourself. You know, we got a couple people on. I appreciate you guys taking some time out to listen to the podcast. Thank you guys for commenting. But if you don't do anything, take care of yourself. You know, if you need somebody to talk to, even if you just need to start somewhere, man, feel free to hit us up in the comments. Hit us up on our messenger, on our email. If you have my number personally, feel free, come out, you know, talk to me personally. We just had one, Charles say 100% open door for anyone who wants to talk.
Yeah. So
most definitely, man, you know, please, you're not by yourself. I promise you ain't by yourself. If you want to talk, please reach out.
Definitely.
I'll be more than happy to talk to you.
Yeah, because I know this is a rough time of year for a lot of people, man. Christmas time, everybody, you know, a lot of family related stuff going on. I know it's hard for a lot of people. So like Rob was saying, hit us up, DM, Facebook, you know, reach out. We can't help, you know, we can definitely get you in contact with somebody who can, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So, man, like always, man, we appreciate you guys. Y'all have a great and wonderful day. We'll decide throughout the week if we're going to do one right before Christmas. But if not, Merry Christmas to everybody. Be blessed. Be safe. Have a good one.
Peace.
Just kind of jumped out of nowhere. He was like, hey, man, how about CDs? Stuck it out there, and I was like, people still pushing CDs.
How much you pay for this? You losing money.
People that smack while they eat.
Definitely psycho.
Like it's something that
I was sitting right beside the woman. You know, it's just that y'all ain't a bitch.
Check us out on YouTube, and we'll be going live on Facebook next Wednesday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Until next time, guys, we'll holler at you. Peace.